Hey trainers, Poke Dad here, along with the Dancing Bear at first base.
KK Shift 128.
Great beast in his natural habitat.
Yep.
Today in Pokemon Deck Check, got an expanded deck profile. A few of the subscribers and viewers have been asking for, but who's this being brought to you by?
Ink Gaming, your answer all your customizable tabletop gaming needs.
Yes, they are. Check out the link in the description below with a coupon code. Get a nice little discount. That being said, let's dive into it.
Alright, starting it off. 2 Blastoise.
See what I did there? Water deck, dive into it.
2 Palkios. 2 Unknowns. 2 Eggs. 2 Shaman. 2 Chapalele. 1 Keldeo. 1 Articuno. And 1 Kingdra GX.
Okay, for the few viewers, they wanted to see a Kingdra text, so that's what we're going with. And it is a good attacker, 10 and then, 50 more for each water. So
Yes.
It gets up to the numbers really quick. Still, optimal attacker is the Palkia. And we've got the water ones, but you could definitely go Dragon for expanded. I could definitely see that. Because I see more grass stuff being played rather than fairy stuff, right?
Right.
So I think honestly I would change these out for the dragon ones rather than the water. So, but anywho, for those of y'all not familiar, Jacob Van Wagner won the world championship with a deck similar to this. Very consistent, especially with the added support cards that we have access to now. So with Lele, it's almost guaranteed. Anytime you have computer search, it's pretty much a guarantee. Turn 1, Archie's Blastoise. You want to get Blastoise in, then you want to just load up water on either Keldeo, Palkia, or on turn 2, Archie's again for Kingdra. That's definitely viable with this deck. Executes to help hit the right numbers for your hand to manipulate it. It's perfect. Unknown, same thing. You want cards that you can just put down, you can just play down and just empty your hand immediately. And if you have too many supporters, it clogs your hand and you can't get the Blastoise into play with the Archies. So, optimal Pokemon line, Articuno. Night March might be around. So it's always good. Not lost. We're thinking maybe Portland Regionals with this play here. So I would definitely play the Articuno tech. That's it, huh?
Yeah. Onto the items.
Oh, let me cover real quick the Palkia. Why I would use Palkia as main attack. 3 colorless, it does 60 plus 20 more, where Keldeo does 50 plus 20 more. So that 10 damage plus the choice band makes a huge difference. So
And it has more health.
and its GX attack is really nice too. Shuffle all energy from your opponent's Pokemon into their deck. So and that's not hard. It looks like a high attack cost for 5, but that's nothing. I mean, we saw Jacob Van Wagner load up 8 energy, 8 or 10 waters on Keldeo. So
Keldeo or Mewtwo?
it might have been Mewtwo, and that's something that I would like in this deck. If I was going to change the, we'll talk about that here in a sec. But right now it has the Kingdra tech, so we'll talk about what we would play if we were going to play in a regionals.
For items, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Superior Energy Retrieval, 4 VS Seeker, 4 Battle Compressor, 4 Trainer's Mail, 2 Choice Band, 1 Dowsing Machine, 1 Field Blower, 1 Float Stone, and 1 Mysterious Treasure.
You'll notice every card here is something that you can get into hand and immediately play. That's what you're going for. You're going for stuff that you can just get into hand, play it down so you can get your Blastoise turn 1. awesome consistency. 4 of each. 4 trainers mail to dig. Choice band, if you get it in your hand, you just put it down. Mysterious treasure helps thin the hand. Acts as your another Ultra Ball. We like dowsing machine in this build to get the Kingdra into play. So this is very helpful to get maybe if you get the turn 1 Archie's Blastoise and then you want to go for a second one, and so you dig with the mail or something, then you get the dowsing machine. You can keep doing Archies. So everything else is pretty straightforward. You could, if you don't like the field blower, you could play a stadium like Rough Seas or something to heal. So.
Then for supporters, 2 Archies Ace in the hole.
Just in case one gets prized.
2 Juniper, 1 N, 1 Guzma, 1 Fisherman.
You want to keep the supporter count as close to 8 as possible. You don't want to go. You never want to go more than 9. But here we only have 7, and this is perfect. Never once had a problem getting a turn 1 Blastoise. So this is the optimal count. If you want to, if you don't like the field blower, I could see a Lysander. So something to think about.
Then for stadiums, 1 Brooklet Hill.
Brooklet Hill or Rough Seas. You could see the argument for either one. I like Brooklet Hill to help get the attacker. Another reason why we play the Water Palkia versus the Dragon. I think, honestly, a 1-1 split could be alright. But there you have it.
Then for energy, 11.
11. This number does not change, folks. 11 won the Pokemon World Championship. 11 still wins today. No reason to change a winning recipe. Now, let's talk about... this deck was built for, like I said, the viewers or subscribers that were asking about it. If we were going to take the deck to regional and play, here's the Pokemon line that we would have and kind of why.
So first, we would add another Keldeo.
Keldeo, because I can see an uptick in Toad decks where they could try to put you to poison or confused, or like Sableye, Confused Ray, because Sableye can't get all the energy off of you, so they have to hope for a Confused Ray. So having multiple Keldeos to switch back and forth, very, very useful. Also Toad with the Burbank Poison Laser, is all. And then if they're playing a couple Survivors, and if you sleep heads, or if you flip tails, and you're still asleep, then you need a way to get out of it. So 2 Keldeos, I think is optimal. I would not cut the Articuno. Articuno would stay. Let me go back to the supporter, or the kind of what changes we would make.
I think that's it for Pokemon.
Yep. So, as far as Pokemon, we would adjust 1 Dragon and probably 1 Water here. Okay? And then we would swap in the Keldeo for the Kingdra.
And then another Pokemon we would add is the Mewtwo EX.
Field Blower would get cut, and Mewtwo EX. Buzzwall Killer right here.
It also can just hit really hard.
It can hit hard, and it punches through Buzzwalls. It punches through Baby Buzz fairly easy, and it's not hard to load it up with energy. So, I would make those changes, but also I would probably take out the Brooklet Hill for Rough Seas if I'm running a Dragon Palkia and I'm running Mewtwo also. So that's something to think about. But if we were going to regionals, this is kind of what we would do, right?
Yes.
1 Dragon, 1 Water, 2 Keldeos, and then definitely the Mewtwo for Buzzwole. And that could be good against Espeon and Garbodor decks too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's about it. Super consistent deck. Where it is in the matchup, I think if you play the Mewtwo, I think it blows away Buzzwole, right?
Yeah.
Zoroark, without puzzles and without heavy rescue stretcher, you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on them. They have to play heavy rescue stretchers. At least 2, maybe 3 rescue stretchers. Without the Garatinas and stuff to fill up your bench over and over and over executes. They could play 4 eggs or at least 2 rescue stretchers. So Zoroark's a good matchup. Now, the Garbodor variants, I'm sorry, but you're going to take a loss.
Yeah, with the ability to shut down your abilities.
Yeah, even with the one field blower, that's not going to swing that match. And so, for that reason, The other matchup is Zoroark Garbodor, which I honestly think that's going to be the most popular expanded deck. Zoroark Garbodor is going to be the most popular, and then I think Buzzwole Lycanroc will be second most popular, and then I think third will be the Drampa Garb, or Espeon Garb, Drampa Garb. I think that'll be third, and then Trevenant will be fourth. I think that's your top 4. And this, if you go first, you can beat Trevenant. If you can beat the Zoroark, the Lonzor variant. You can beat the Toad Zoroark variant. And you can beat Buzzwole Lycanroc, but you will lose to the Garbodor, Drampa Garb, and you'll lose to Zorogarb. 2 of the more popular decks. So this is a risky play. If you think you're going to see more Buzzwole and stuff like that, then play this. If you think you're going to see more Zoroark Garbodor or Drampa Garb or whatever, then I would not play this. So
I agree with that.
I think Zorogarb is going to be by far the most played deck in Expanded. It's really good. It's really safe. It's really consistent. So,
yeah.
So that's all we got. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully, for the ones, I'm sorry I don't remember who requested this deck. Hopefully it's to your liking. And this is a tested and proven deck. We have not really tested with the Kingdra all that much. But without the Kingdra, with the Mewtwo and the second Keldeo, it's tried and true. It's proven. It's right on point. So
yeah, we have kind of tested the Kingdra, and it was.
It's good.
Pretty fine.
It's good. Now, you could still win the Zoroark Garb variants because if you go first, then it's still going to take them the end of turn 2 to get Garbotoxin online. So you can have an explosive enough turn 1 and turn 2 that you can still win. That you can just muscle through them. So, and that might be something you look at like a wishy-washy GX. But the problem with it is it takes a big knockout with the GX, but then you have to move all the water to everything. You can't just repeat attacks. It doesn't do enough damage. So, but that's all I got. You got anything else, Dance Bear?
No, I do think it's something to try out.
It's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, it is.
It's one of the most fun decks out there to play, and you'd be surprised at how consistently you get the Blastoise, and it's actually pretty forgiving. You know, there are some sequencing things, but it's not as frantic and stressful as you might think. It's easier than it looks.
Once you get the Archie's Blastoise turn 1, it kind of just cruises.
It autopilots. It autopilots. There's definite sequencing on what to play first, what to do first, how to manipulate your hand with the eggs or the unknowns. or even shamans. I mean, there's times where you have to shaman back up to 6 and then try to dwindle your hand back down. I think in the World Championship on game 2, Jacob had to shaman back up to 6 twice before he was able to get the right combination of cards to get the turn 1 Blastoise. So there's a path. Unless you just have the worst hand of all time, you're probably going to get the turn 1 Blastoise. And like I said, it's at this point in this deck's life, it's probably 80 to 85% you get the turn 1 Blastoise.
I'd say probably a little bit
90?
more.
Maybe 85, 90?
I think it's like in the 90 to 95 range.
Okay. So
It gets it pretty good.
So you heard it from the Dancing Bear. 90 to 95% you get the Blastoise. So, but definitely give it a try. And the Pokemon line is not set in stone. We just gave our thoughts on what changes we would make. And so, yeah, enjoy and be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes.